Can you see it?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to our Career Guidance Orientation. It's me, AISAT Marketing/Admissions Officer, Victoria Villamore. Let me take you to a quick tour of AISAT's offered courses and programs. You ready? Then, let's go! First up, our courses under the Aviation Department. We have Bachelor of Science in Aircraft Maintenance Technology, Bachelor of Science in Aviation Electronics Technology, our 2-year associate degree in Aircraft Maintenance Technology, our 2-year associate degree in Aviation Electronics Technology, and our newest offering, Bachelor of Science in Aviation Management, major in Airline Operations. Here are the things you need to know about our aviation offerings. Good news, students! Our AMT and AET programs are ladderized, meaning after you finish your 2-year associate degree, you can proceed with a bachelor's degree. Thus, opens opportunities for career and educational advancement to students in the aviation industry. Next, our courses under the Institute of Design and Technology Department. We have Bachelor of Science in Entertainment and Multimedia Computing with the following majors: Digital Animation Technology and Game Development. We also have our 2-year Digital Arts and Computer Systems. These are the details you need to have about our IDT courses. This time, let's check out our school facilities. Hold on, we have more programs offered. You can tune into AISAT Kids School on Air. Get the kids ready for AISAT's basic education. Craving to start your pilot dream? Then join us at Adventure Flight Education and Sports Incorporated. For queries and more info, you may contact us through our website, Gmail, and Facebook page right there on the screen. There you have it. We are so pumped up to welcome you in our next school year, because in AISAT, we can let your dreams take flight.
All right. So those are offered programs and courses in a nutshell. As mentioned earlier, BSAvM is our newest course offering, and I'm pretty sure that a lot of people, or you might be asking some questions like, why AISAT? Or why in AISAT? Why AVM? So to shed some light on these queries, why don't we hear from our BSAvM students? So just give me a moment, let me present my slide. or my video.
Hi, I'm Franspet Ivo Ningaya from Aviation Management, major in airline operations, first year, and I'm a proud AISAT student. The journey of Asian International School of Aeronautics and Technology marks a breakthrough in a culture of excellence. It continues to achieve national and international distinctions that have uplifted its morale as an excellent seat for learning AISAT's gifted. From its brilliant faculty and administration staff to the lively students it supports every day, AISAT had such a positive impact in my life. I had the greatest opportunity to study at AISAT, and I can say that I do not regret my decision. I was able to learn from highly qualified and certified instructors in modern space, not only for academics, but also for our enthusiasm and gifts. Asian International School of Aeronautics and Technology advocates its progress in terms of new learning methods, up-to-date learning resources, and high-end facilities. The school maintains an instructive and holistic experience while incorporating the latest trend in technology and education into the curriculum efficiently and effectively at the same time. It makes sure that students and faculty not only live by knowledge, but also by its core values. These are character building, inspiration, proper guidance, and competitive connection. These four pillars serves as the foundation and motivation behind its aim for quality education. And as the school's encouraging motto, "Let your dreams take flight," they are able to hold us to be accountable, intelligent, sensitive, articulate, and technologically prepared and globally competent, because we aviators are more than just academic excellence.
Thank you, Franz, for that. Let's hear another one from Mitch.
Hazel Dendoy, 18 years old, and I am a first-year student of AISAT. Hey everyone, and welcome aboard. I am Mitch Hazel Dendoy, 18 years old, and I am a first-year student of AISAT Davao from the course BSAvM, or the Bachelor of Science in Aviation Management, major in airline operations. I was initially drawn to aviation when I was in junior high school. I remember convincing my mom and my lola to support me with this one. Fortunately, they were more than just supportive. They actually told me to pursue what I love because they believed that love of work is as important as perseverance. Months after that conversation, while I was looking for schools or colleges to get into, I happened to stumble upon the FB page of AISAT Davao. And although it's far from my hometown, which is General Santos City, I knew this would be it. So I took their entrance exam last March 2020, and with the will of God, here I am. Now, why AISAT? Well, not only is it just a school that will really help you to achieve your dream career in the aviation industry, but it is actually a place that will shape you to become suitable in the industry. I've only been with this family for a couple of months, but my heart is filled with the enthusiasm and desire from the people I've met here at AISAT. Whether they're my classmates, teachers, faculty members, or admins. As I always say, the people you meet along the way in the aviation industry seems to have some special drive. Not only that, Asian International School of Aeronautics and Technology provides quality technical education in the field of aviation, digital arts, hotel and restaurant services with high-end facilities. Since then, I wasn't just initially drawn to aviation. I was certain AISAT has made my passion to become my purpose. And I know that for others, it will be like that too. It's still a long way, but I'll get there. Begin with AISAT, and may your dreams indeed take flight.
Okay, thank you so much, girls. So those are some of our BSAvM students, friends, and Mitch. Hopefully their sharing has answered some of your qualms about choosing BSAvM. All right, this time let's look into the details of BSAvM. Please allow me to share with you first this very short video presentation.
Is the aviation industry calling you? And yet, the mechanic courses offered in AISAT just doesn't suit you. Why not consider our new course, Bachelor of Science in Aviation Management? It is a good stepping stone to acquire the soft skills needed to become good pilots and flight attendants, as well as other administrative positions in the field of aviation. Enroll now at AISAT Davao. Let your dreams take flight.
Created using how-to.
Okay, I bet you guys want more, right? So without further ado, join me in welcoming our school president, Attorney Myra Anuiteo, for her message. Ma'am Myra.
Hello everyone. Hello everyone. I'd like to welcome all of you. Either you are an existing student of AISAT or those who have yet to decide if you will be joining AISAT, or those who have already signed up for the first SEM in AISAT. So welcome once again to this webinar about AvM. Why are we here today? We're here today to tell you more about AvM and also maybe to answer questions that you may have that you would like to know from students, especially from students who are already in the AvM course. That's why we have here a very supportive first batch of AISAT students. Thank you very much for all your support. So that they may answer your questions, because it's best to hear from the students themselves. All right, why AvM? Now, aviation is an industry that unfortunately has seen quite a dramatic downfall this past 2 years because of the COVID pandemic. But of course, prior to the pandemic, the aviation industry was really seen to just continue its upward movement. And indeed, there were a lot of forecasts saying that we need a lot of aviation-related jobs and we need skilled workers to work in the aviation industry to support the many people who are seen to travel everywhere by air. And I'm sure you also have experienced that, if not maybe your family or your close friends who are seen to just travel everywhere by plane. And indeed, because the industry has evolved. Before, the industry was only for the very rich or those who are really in business, and they were the ones who could afford to travel. But now that's no longer the case, especially as the aviation industry has evolved and we have budget airlines and a lot of sales going on. So the industry has become very competitive, and with that, the rise of many companies and its associated services. So that is where we come in. Now, aviation management course is under the BSBA program, which is a general business degree program. So we have a lot of our core courses core and common courses that is actually very similar to other BSBA programs. But since this is a course that is geared towards aviation, we have put a lot of aviation flavor into the BSBA courses. So in fact, all the courses, as much as possible, will have a flavor of aviation. And the thing is, BSBA, since it is a business degree, gives you the foundations on business and management. So a lot of the cases and a lot of the readings, we will try to inject as much as possible aviation-related cases. Of course, if it's foundational, the teacher would have to cover foundational courses first so that you will have a good grasp on business and management foundation. But as much as possible, we will inject aviation-related cases so that when you enter the aviation field, you will not be a stranger to the terms, you will not be a stranger to the industry, and you can easily pick up things that are associated with the job. However, since BSBA is still, and management, I would say, is still a generalist kind of orientation, it's still flexible enough for anyone who would graduate in BS Aviation Management to enter any field in business and management. So what I'm saying is, yes, although we give you the specialized knowledge and maybe techniques in aviation and skills, but since the foundation of business and management is still there, this course is applicable to any offering or any job offering that may open up in the future. And let me just tell you that there has been a study that says that what the future need are generalists. No? So what does that mean? It means someone who has a knowledge in a lot of fields. And BSBA, yes, is a knowledge, but then you have to expand your knowledge, not only in aviation, but as you go along, pick up even more knowledge, because these are the type of workers that will be needed in the future. So what I'm saying is, why aviation management? Because on top of giving you basic skills in business and management, we give you a perspective on the aviation industry. And when you have that kind of perspective in the aviation industry, if you enter a job that is aviation related, very well, that's good. But in case you don't end up in a job that is aviation related, the perspective that you have used to look at and study aviation can also be used at studying and looking at other things, you know, because it's not the particular that is important right now. It's how you deal with information. And I think that is what's important for our graduates, to be able to look at cases in a way that gives you that enables you to analyze. You know, BSBA should be able to give you skills to analyze the situation, the case, so that when you graduate, you can be thrown anywhere and you will be able to adjust and you will be able to adopt. So, because right now it's very hard to say that the aviation industry will pick up and exceed its previous high. No? We don't know what's going to happen in the future. So what do? We do what we can do best, and that is to equip ourselves with what? With the basics, the foundations, the general knowledge. No? And why AISAT? Because in AISAT, we thrive to make the most out of every situation. And for example, this pandemic, what did we do? We thrive to make the online experience equal, at par with the classroom experience. And I would say that the online experience challenges students even more because it requires you to have more discipline, it requires you to read on your own, and it requires you to be motivated in spite of the fact that you are not together with your classmates. No? And I know other schools are doing that, but I think what we have here is an active, proactive energy from the administration to really pull you out in webinars, no, that is conducted by the OSA and also the guidance office, and we also have Rev Up, which deals with your spiritual needs. So we try to cover your needs in every aspect. Of course, there are a lot of students and sometimes we cannot cater to each and every student. But what we do is we give you the choices and we encourage you to join. No? We encourage you to join so that, again, your minds will be opened up to many, many things. And as students, you should be doing that. No? You should be absorbing everything so that when you graduate, you have experiences either from first-hand experiences or through the books. So that's why I think that AISAT AvM course, it's a wonderful course to start off a career, not only in aviation, but actually in any other fields, okay? So one more thing about studying, there is a trend in the US right now that have seen a fall in the enrollment of college students. And I think that is very sad. That's very sad because education, why is education important? Education cuts short your time to learn things. What do I mean? You know, we experience a lot of things in life, and hopefully after each experience, we learn from them, right? We learn from our past mistakes. Now, if we don't have education, then we need experiences to pick up things. And how long would that take, right? So when you have education, what it does, it short circuits the time you need to pick up a lot of things, okay? So don't think that the books are there just for you to have a diploma, no? Of course, that is your ultimate goal, to have a diploma, but also think that you are short-circuiting the need for all the experiences to learn everything that you need to know so that when you graduate, you may be able to adopt into society in a successful way, you know, in a functional and successful way, okay? So I think I have said what I want to say, but later on, we would really like to entertain questions that you may have, and you may address them to me or to our students or to Ma'am Vicky, so that we may answer maybe still pending questions that you have for in your goal of maybe finally deciding to enter BSAvM in AISAT. Okay, so thank you very much. Once again, welcome to our AvM webinar.
Thank you, Ma'am Maria, for that insightful talk. Okay, right, that was very clear and explained in detail. Aside from the pre-recorded testimonials of our BSAvM students earlier, I'm fully convinced that you guys want to hear more and live about, you know, how to be a BSAvM student, you know, the first-hand knowledge and experience in taking the course. So with that, help me welcome one of our BSAvM pioneers, and let me quote, enthusiasts. He is very enthusiastic BSAvM student, John Lawrence Panello. Hi, John.
Hi, Ma'am Vicky. Good morning, everyone. And first of all, I would like to thank Mama and Ma'am Vicky for this opportunity. I would like to start by saying the primary reason why I chose AvM. So first, it's because of its well-rounded subjects. So it is pleasingly varied or balanced from business, management, law, research, and even foreign language subjects. AvM will surely train me to become that manager and you as well, who is an all-rounder in the industry someday. So second, the instructors are industry practitioners. So they are from various industries, meaning they are practicing in their respective professions. So we can ask them questions such as, we really ask this in class, as a manager in the industry, is the operations manager also involved in the marketing process? Or, captain, in starting the aircraft's engine, what is the first light to be toggled on as well as the last light to be toggled off? Or even, attorney, is a contract written on a leaf legally binding? So we asked our instructors questions like that since they are from the industry. Next is how we call AvM as a program where you can be anyone that you want to be. So this is in relation to what Ma'am Myra told us earlier. So that's allied and related industries, business, management, and so on and so forth. So from a business owner to a flight attendant, or even to a pilot after graduating and then proceeding to flying, an aviation lawyer after proceeding to law, and many more. So as a generalist course, you can be not just that future aviation manager in any airline or airport department, but also to, as I said earlier, related industries. So for example, the export industry that sends cargo through planes. So that's a very related example. So why ISAT? My childhood dream was to become a pilot. That is why as early as senior high school, I already chose ISAT. Then came BSAvM, which made me want to continue even more my education in ISAT. Besides that, besides what I mentioned earlier from the subjects, instructors, etc., ISAT continues to provide for me quality education amidst the pandemic. Since classes are actually both synchronous and asynchronous, synchronous plus a consultation time, that's every week, and classworks, which are asynchronous, makes it flexible as well, even for working students, and considerate to students who may sometimes experience connection problems since we all experience that. So I am a part-time working student myself as a research assistant, and ISAT's schedule really helps me. Fun fact, since classes are fully online, you can enroll even if you are anywhere in the Philippines or even the world. So my classmate, Mitch Hazel Dandoy, the one who gave her testimony earlier via video, is currently in Japan. ISAT also conducts various online school activities. So as mentioned by Ma'am Myra earlier, the webinars, Rev Up, and also club activities, and even the community extension online, such as the Kids School on Air. And to add more about Rev Up, that's actually done weekly, the campus ministry of ISAT. And even if online, we get to hear the word from our campus volunteer pastor and have a small group discussion after. So moving forward, my experience in taking up BSAvM so far was a roller coaster ride. So why would I say so? There were really ups and downs. Subjects that are easy, subjects that are difficult, classworks that take a few minutes to answer, and classworks that take an entire day to finish. But the best part was that it all helped me to become the student that I am today. You get to experience constructive criticism to improve yourself. And since it was a challenge, you get to experience what it is like in the industry or even the real world, even if online. So I would just like to share how one of our instructors, a flight attendant, had her class in flight. So in short, an in-flight experience. I would like to show it to everyone, but as I tried it earlier, the YouTube video is lagging. So I will just send the YouTube video link in the chat. So it's actually in the AISAT Davao Events YouTube. So it was for class purposes, and our instructor was on duty that time. So she literally took our online class to her flight since she is a lead cabin crew of a local airline. So what I have learned so far in a span of more than a year was very vast, from the basics, that's principles of management, that's the very first subject in the curriculum, up until accounting. So yes, there is accounting as mentioned earlier, but I assure you, it may be difficult at first. It was actually our most difficult subject so far, but we really appreciated how important it is as a manager. So when I took my final exam last July 15, that's just exactly 5 days ago, it's still in my mind. And it was during the end part pa of the class that I was really able to fully understand all the lessons and apply what I learned in the final exam. So no need to worry if someday in the industry you will be asked to read an income statement, balance sheet, and the like. So you already have that foundation in basic financial accounting. Also, what I have learned so far really stayed with me since classworks are interactive. No, not your usual quiz and assignment, since we did case analysis, research papers, and we even had a class assignment in HR subject wherein we were tasked to make a class performance appraisal form. So it was very productive and everyone was on the same document. So the benefits, since we have consultation time, instructors are very willing to answer our questions. That's via email or hangouts. Also, you are given opportunities to grow individually and as a group. So you still get to exercise leadership skills through teamwork in group activities. And the lessons will really stay with you for a long time as it is discussed live and is recorded for you to review, and you are also able to apply what you have learned through the interactive classworks. So similar to what Mamyra mentioned earlier, as I attended a webinar just this summer by AMB Philippines. Wait, let me open. So the future belongs to the generalists. I'm not sure if, ayan. The future belongs to the generalists. And that's about it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Do not be shy because I'm also just a student like you. Thank you and have a great day ahead.
Thank you, John, for providing us with a glimpse of being a BSAvM student, the lessons discussed in class, as well as the reflective insights. Yes, that was undoubtedly inspiring. Okay, at this part, we are now open for your queries, and we're glad to provide you with clarifications as regards to your chosen course. All right. So, the big cue here is, who wants to go first? Don't be shy, everyone. If your microphone is not working, you can actually type it in the chat section and we'll read it for you.
I'd like to also tell everyone, no, since it's pandemic, AISAT has realized that we can actually tap teachers that are not in Davao. So the teacher that we tapped for accounting is actually based in Baguio City. And the reason why we tapped him was because we saw that he had a very good YouTube video blog on YouTube. So, and the way he explained it was really nice. It was very step by step. So we reached out to him and he agreed to teach financial accounting. And then we realized that he was a teacher. That's why he taught so well. So I think the pandemic really has challenged us, but I think it's how we deal with the challenge. And I also want to encourage you, yes, it's difficult to study at home. There are a lot of challenges, especially when your home is noisy, your internet connection, you have to have a nice curtain behind you so that joke, John. But there are a lot of challenges online. You have dogs barking. I know his dog is always barking, but at the same time, we have opportunities. And because it's online, I think the opportunities can surmount the challenges that are presented to us in this online setting. And a lot of people are asking me, when will we go back to face to face? What we did in AISAT is we realized that it's the laboratory classes that is more critical for face-to-face setting. So what we did is we asked the CHED if we can do face-to-face for laboratory classes. Since AvM does not have laboratory classes, it will be probably one of the last that will go back to face-to-face. We have to admit that, because the government will not want to risk spreading the disease with students going back face-to-face. But since our school is a technical school for maintenance, that's what we will focus first, to have students back face-to-face. And the way we're doing that is on a group basis, and small group basis, and it will be scheduled. But once again, for you, since you're doing AvM, I don't see any problem with you making the most out of our online setting and taking advantage. And one more thing, our teachers, since they are industry practitioners, actually, if we have an actual face-to-face class, it would be difficult to invite industry practitioners to teach, because you know how the traffic is. Although you're only teaching for an hour and a half, twice a week, it takes a lot of time to go to school, to teach, and then to go back home. So now that we have it online, actually the teachers are a lot happier, because they have other work, and they have other work, but they can still teach you because it's online. So I think for AvM, it's a plus. The online setting is actually a plus. So I want to motivate you that it's always, there's always good when something bad happens. There's always an advantage to every disadvantage. So let's look at the bright side and know that there's a lot that we can do, and it's within our control. So that's what we thrive to do in AISAT. And since we are not such a big school, we are able to do things faster. Because if you have a big school, it takes a lot to just you roll out a policy. But if you are an AISAT, it's a school that is manageable in size. So we are able to, talk to students immediately if they have queries, if they have any protests with their online assignments, homeworks, which we faced last year. But since we are a small school, we're able to, hey, let's talk. Let's try to settle this in a way that, will make everyone, go home happy and see the reason why policies are made that way. But yeah, so I was just talking because I was wondering if any of you will have questions.
Yes. So if there's none, I have a question for John, and I hope this question will help you attendees. So what worries did you have before enrolling in the course, and how did you address them while studying, particularly in your first year?
Thank you for that question, ma'am. So very particular during the first year. So actually included in the first year is accounting, but it was not really on accounting that I was worried. So my worries were really on if I may be able to pull off this program, knowing that the subjects are very vast. And so how I was able to address that worry na the subjects are kung sa other courses pa they named it as all over the place, no, kasi for example second semester first year, on the same day you will have, I'm not sure if it will be the same as ours, but the subject of captain followed by the subject of attorney, so that's quite far. But captain is teaching us similar to flying school, while attorney is talking about business law, so that's quite far, but it's on the same day. So time management, AvM really taught me to manage my time wisely. So since there are breaks in between, no classes are not as in straight 10 to 5 the whole day and onwards. So you get to appreciate that AvM will really teach you to manage your time, to study what subject comes first, what subject comes next, and then the classworks as well, since classworks are asynchronous, so you actually have a week to finish your classworks. And then another is I was also worried because of the pandemic, but always remember that someday planes will soon fly again. So the world is not going backwards naman na for us to worry na no one will fly na after. So if you've read articles that says na business travelers might not travel anymore because of the advent of video conferencing, for example, our online class, leisure travelers will surely travel because who wouldn't want to travel by plane? Um, just because the pandemic already ended, will people go back to taking land trips again? That's not feasible if you're going cross country. So it's really via plane. And so I was able to address all of those worries by learning, improving, becoming a better version of myself, so that someday when everything gets back to normal, and it will really get back to normal, I am already competent and we will all be competent by then. And then I would just like to add, no, also from the webinar that I attended, I'm not sure if it's readable, but I will just read it. The results don't matter for now, for let's say during the pandemic. I think this is relatable to everyone. Did you fail? Did you not get the result you wanted? That's okay. Keep taking action. Keep doing the work anyway. Combine action with experience and insight, and that's how you succeed at your goals. And AvM will really help you with that. So that's all. Thank you, Ma'am Vicky.
Thank you, John, for sharing your pieces or your nuggets of wisdom. That was a lot. Thank you very much. Okay, and thank you also, Ma'am Myra. If there are no questions, or maybe you're just shy, it's okay. You can drop a message in our AISAT Facebook page, just in case something pops, in your mind. So we'll be very willing to answer it, or you can email me at admissions@isat.edu.ph. All right. So once again, thank you very much for attending. To all our attendees, thank you so much. Although it's a holiday, we really appreciate your time. We hope you have learned a lot from John, from other students, and from Myra's talk earlier. And if you find this, yes, ma'am, would you like to say?
I'd like to just point out, John was telling everyone that there is a pilot ground school course on your first year, second sem. No? For those who are new, the reason why there is a pilot ground school course in your second sem is, first, if you want to be a pilot and proceed, so that gives you a taste of flying. But more importantly, why we put that there is because when you start working in an aviation industry, there are things that are pilot lingo, no? Pilot jargon. And if you don't study the ground school, you won't know what it is. You don't know, you can't manage something if you don't know how it works. Okay, so that's why the pilot course is put there. Because if you work in an airport, okay, you have to know how the airplane flies and what are the things that are associated with it, so that you can manage your airport properly, right? So that's why we have the pilot course in aviation management. But of course, I know that there are also a lot of students who take up aviation management because they want to be pilots. And so this gives you a taste of becoming pilots. Go ahead, Ma'am Vicky, that's all.
Thank you, Myra. All right, so if you find this webinar meaningful and encouraging enough to enroll in AISAT, then you're very welcome to do so. Just a friendly reminder, we only have 2 more weeks left for our enrollment, and slots are quickly filling up, okay? All right. So for more queries and details, as I had mentioned earlier, feel free to send us a PM on the AISAT FB page. And yes, so we will really appreciate if you would ask us more questions, more details to give you clarifications and enlightenment when it comes to BSAvM. Okay, so I guess that's it. Any additional inputs from Myra or from John?
No more.
All right, so thank you once again, everyone, for joining this webinar. Stay safe and be blessed. Hope to see you one day in ISAT.
Thank you everyone for coming. Thank you AvM students for your support. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Thank you, Vicky, Ma'am Kay. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Ma'am Myra and Ma'am Vicky.
Thank you.
Bye.